You're listening to Infoverity's Trust Us podcast, where you can gear up for your data management journey with bite-sized discussions on industry trends and thought leadership. On each episode, we'll feature industry experts to help you navigate your path to mastering your enterprise data. Today on the podcast, we'll be talking about how and why to become a data-driven company. And it's important to start that discussion by describing what we mean by data-driven. The crux of it is really maximizing the value of the data you already have, whether that be mastering data about customers or products, synthesizing, analyzing, and measuring that data to see trends, or optimally, leveraging all the data you already have at your disposal to make fact-based decisions about what your business is telling you. This week's episode will focus on some benefits you will achieve by embarking on the journey to become data-driven, challenges along the way, and areas where Infoverity can help. Our guest today is Taylor Becht. Welcome, Taylor. So glad you could join us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Jocelyn. I'm excited to be here. A little bit about myself. I am a solution architect as part of the Infoverity delivery services team. I have experience in many different PIM and MDM solutions, all of those Gartner top quadrant solutions, primarily within the product domain, but I do have plenty of experience in customer domain, supplier domain, location domain as well. And I've worked on every facet of implementation and design from high-level architecture and data strategy all the way down to the nitty-gritty configuration and development as well.
Well, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. My first question for you is this. How could companies not be data-driven in this day and age? With the prevalence of AI, having reams of data at our fingertips, and facts and figures about business results on our screens every moment, how could companies not be taking advantage of their own data?
I think it's important to note that most companies are doing at least some level of enterprise-wide data management, but it's really more about how they optimize and maximize what they are doing in this space. A surprising statistic is that only 50% of any given company's structured data is actively used in any decision making.
Understood. Do you think that the level of focus on using data to drive business decisions is directly related to the priority companies have for making room for some of the roles that we have recently started seeing, such as chief data officers?
Yes, first and foremost, organizations that have a strategy for their data and have a leadership role to guide its implementation see significant growth across industries. And by 2025, CDOs who establish value stream-based collaboration will significantly outperform their peers in driving cross-functional collaboration and value creation. Specifically, companies that have invested in that chief data officer between 2017 and 2022 saw as much as a 42% growth than those without that CDO.
That's really great insight. Thank you, Taylor. I know that data within organizations is becoming increasingly relevant, and that's really driving the need to understand and manage data as a strategic asset. That CDO role you mentioned plays a key role in making progress on that journey. However, I also know that that road to becoming a data-driven company is not without common challenges. For me, the top four challenges would have to be unclear strategic vision, organizational resistance, data silos, and lack of in-house skill sets. Could you possibly talk a little bit more about each of those challenges?
Absolutely. And Jocelyn, I think you really hit the nail on the head with those challenges that you've listed. Let's go ahead and start with the unclear strategic vision. And that's really a foundational piece of this journey. As a leader, setting a clear strategic vision that is directly tied to business goals specifically is key. Picking clear objectives with measurable outcomes and outlining actionable steps to achieve those goals will allow you to quickly make progress on your journey and demonstrate a return on your investments. Another one of those challenges that you mentioned, organizational resistance, that can impede companies' transformations of their enterprise data management for sure. Change can be difficult, especially with efforts as foundational as enterprise data management. Considering the business and process impact of transforming into a data-driven company early on in your journey is crucial. Engage business users upfront early on and seek input along the way to maximize your investments and lay that foundation for lasting impact. You also mentioned data silos, and these are an all too common occurrence. 80% of an analyst's time is spent simply discovering and preparing data. And this is largely due to organizations using disparate channels, tools, standards, and processes to manage their enterprise data. Starting your journey by outlining what data and business processes live where is a foundational first step to making that data work for you. Once you understand the scope of what you have, you can begin to refine all of the different ways that you can leverage your data and really drive those crucial decisions and business goals. And finally, you mentioned lack of in-house skill sets, and this can definitely be a hindrance to a company's enterprise data management journey as well. If you're just beginning that transformation into a data-driven organization, you might not have prioritized hiring the right people with the right skills in the near or long term to make your transition sustainable. Whether you choose to invest in having the right resources in-house or outsourcing them, that first step to having the right people in the right roles is to clearly define those roles and responsibilities that you need to have in place to develop and maintain data governance processes and standards.
Thank you so much for elaborating on that, Taylor. And I guess I would summarize by saying that although there are challenges, becoming a data-driven company pays, literally. And I know that Infoverity can help listeners to overcome those challenges. Some specific things I'm thinking of that would benefit our listeners are strategic roadmaps, organizational change management, integration and technical resources for both implementations and ongoing support. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, and we do offer a number of right-sized solutions. Let me talk about some details on the options that you mentioned. Number one, leverage decades of thought leadership to help clarify, communicate, and codify your strategic vision by developing roadmaps and implementation plans to execute your journey in phases, which helps you deliver incremental value along the way. Number two, provide organizational change management support, whether that be implementing a complete plan for successful change management or just supporting you as you develop and execute your own. Number three, break down those silos of your enterprise data by integrating your tool sets and putting the analytical dashboards in place to measure and manage your holistic set of data across the entire enterprise. And number four, support new and existing implementations of master data management tool sets and whatever resources you might be lacking, from project management to business analysis to technical specialists to support production run. We have hundreds of skilled resources across the globe who can support your team.
Great information. And thank you so much for your time today, Taylor. We're so happy to have your insights on how to become a data-driven company.
Thank you so much for having me, Jocelyn.
For more than a decade, Infoverity has been established as an industry-leading consultancy specializing in solving enterprise data management business problems with best-in-class technical solutions. Our firm has consultants located around the globe with headquarters in Columbus, Ohio and Valencia, Spain. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help you, please visit our website at infoverity.com. We've also included additional contact information in the show notes.